So I guess it kind of started when I want to say like 12, 13. I would tell the Lord, I'll do like anything you want me to do. I just don't want to be in music or ministry. And then I was in a season just praying, like, I didn't really want to go to college. I didn't know what to do with my life. There wasn't a career that stuck out. And so I was just praying, like, what's next? What should I do? And I got a call from the worship director here. And I knew before I picked up the phone, like, I felt the Lord in it. I knew what he was going to ask me. I knew that it was from the Lord, and I wanted to say no. So he asked me to be a part of the worship arts team in a more involved way, in more of a leadership role, and I didn't want to do it. Me in and of myself, I am the type of person who I want to be in the back of the room. I want to be where no one can see me. It's just me and the Lord. It's not for anybody else. I don't like public speaking. I don't like this right here. But like I said, I felt the Lord in it. So when I hung up the phone, I told the Lord, I was like, we'll talk about this later. And I went about my day, and that night I said to the Lord, I can say no, right? And I felt him very lovingly, but also I felt conviction in it. And he said, you can say no now, but know that I'll ask you again. And I don't always hear the Lord that clear and that just like in my face, but I was terrified because I knew he was asking me to do something that I couldn't do without him. It was hard for me to step into something that, like I said, I knew I couldn't just muster up the strength and get up on a stage and sing or say something. Even like praying, like just in front of people, I just knew I couldn't do. I actually took a couple hours that night crying and processing like every single thing I was afraid of. From being on stage to being a woman on a platform in a church and processing that, everything. And by the end, I had complete peace, which I knew he was gonna be with me. If I was gonna make this decision to obey him, that he wasn't gonna let me down. He wasn't gonna leave me out there hanging, but he would walk with me and he would lead me and tell me what to do. I'm realizing now, the longer that I've walked with him, is he will always call us to do things that we can't do apart from him. And it feels impossible every single time, and it doesn't get easier. But it doesn't get easier necessarily even to say yes, but when you've seen him show up time and time again in other areas, then you do feel a sense of, okay, I can trust you in this new thing that you're asking of me. I would say the epitome of this story is Proverbs 16:9, because I made my own plans, but the Lord ultimately established my steps. He decided where I was going to go, what I was going to do, apart from even all of my hopes and dreams or what I thought I wanted. He ultimately decided for me, and I then had to choose to obey or not. And last night I was reading in Isaiah that when we follow his commands and when we do what he asks of us, that we will have peace like a flowing river and righteousness like waves in the sea. So when we obey what he asks of us, it's not just for his glory, although he receives everything, but it is also for our good, that we receive peace and joy and his righteousness.